How's it going, guys? Bond Callum here with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the GooDee projector, which is the cheapest projector on Amazon. At the time that I bought this, it was $50, but since then it's actually dropped down to $32. So this thing is cheap. It's cheap, but is it really good? We're going to be putting it to the test and finding out here in this video. But first, this video is sponsored by me. Nobody paid me to have an opinion on this product, and I paid for it completely out of pocket. Nobody gave this product to me for free, so all my opinions in this video are actually my opinions, and they're completely unbiased. The best way you can help me out in being able to review products like this in the future is by liking this video and subscribing to my channel. Believe it or not, that helps me out tremendously, and it only takes you a couple seconds, and it's completely free to you. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, first of all, this is the box that it came in, and it just says LED projector on it. It doesn't say anything about GooDee on it. This honestly looks like one of those projectors that companies buy and they just slap their own logo on it and call it their own. I definitely think it's interesting. So on the side here, it shows the supported resolution is 1920 by 1080, but obviously it's not going to be 1920 by 1080. It's a $30 projector. Now on the box, it doesn't say anything about the native resolution. It just says the supported resolution, but on Amazon, it says the native resolution is 480 by 272. That is really bad. But what do you expect from a $30 projector? It says the maximum screen size is 60 inches, and the projection distance is at most 2 meters. So let's go ahead and open this thing up and see what it's all about. So opening the box here, packed in this little foam carrier. So we got the projector itself, and then it looks like we have a power cable and an RCA cable. So this does take RCA input, you just need this adapter to do it. And then they are generous enough to give you an HDMI cable as well as a remote. This thing is tiny. This is my hand compared to it. So earlier when I said that it looks like one of those unbranded projectors that companies buy just to resell, that stands true. It still looks like one that was just rebranded, but when you actually open the package, it does say GooDee on the top of it. As far as I/O, it looks like we have a micro SD card on here. We have an AV port, which is for RCA. You have a headphone port, micro USB in, which looks like a power supply, but I don't know for sure. Then it has the power, HDMI, and then USB. And again, I'm not really sure what the USB is for. If I had to guess, you could probably load up some pictures on a flash drive and plug it into here, but don't quote me on that. And then you just have your focus adjuster right here. Cool. Well, let's go ahead and get this thing set up and try it out. I can't seem to figure out why it's not wanting to input. Oh. Okay, it is outputting. It's just way too bright in here for it. Let me go ahead and turn all the lights off. Alrighty, so all the lights are turned off now. This thing is really dim. I don't know if there's a way to adjust the brightness. So there's a knob here that looks like it's for brightness, but it doesn't appear to do anything. Let's get this in focus here. Yeah, that 272 resolution is very obvious. So one thing right off the bat, this thing does not have any feet. So when it's laying on the table, half of it is just projecting on the table. So let's go ahead and take the little foam piece that came with the packaging, and we'll just stick it under there so that it can withhold that. So it does look like a 4:3 resolution, which, come on, it's not even widescreen. Everything is in widescreen these days. So I pulled this video up from one of my favorite musicians, which is very colorful. And I gotta say, the color response on this thing is pretty bad. Everything on this just looks like the color's just kind of drained out of it. It honestly looks more gray than colorful. It looks like one of those old, 1800s pictures that was color corrected. Just for comparison's sake, you can take a look at my laptop, which is on the right here, and then the projector. My laptop screen is still pretty garbage, but I mean, even just comparing these two together, you can see that the projector is very gray. So there's really not a lot of color to it. So I pulled up another video here from another artist that I watch. I pulled this one up because it has a lot of complex shapes and figures and colors. And to be honest, the refresh rate on this thing looks very low. So I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. So it looks like the refresh rate on this thing is probably, I mean, it doesn't even look like 20 FPS, like 15 FPS if I had to sort of guess. It's very choppy for sure. Another thing that I'm noticing with this video in particular is the greens pop out really well, and everything else seems to be sort of grayed out a little bit. If we get up a little bit closer here, I'll show you. So if you can see, I mean, you can see the little squares of each pixel. The pixelation on this is so obvious. You know what this projector is really good for though? Retro gaming. This honestly looks fantastic, so if you have some retro game consoles or anything like that that you want to play with, this projector would actually probably be perfect for that. So this thing does have a speaker inside of it, so let's see what we got going on with that. Okay, that speaker is pretty much useless. So what are my overall impressions of this thing? Well, despite the fact that it's so cheap, I have to say that if I were to try to buy this again, I'd probably pass on it. I'd probably shoot for a projector with a little bit higher resolution and a lot better frame rate. This thing has just terrible frame rate. Looking at the image, it looked like it was less than 24 FPS, so I'd have to guess somewhere in the ballpark of 15 to 20 FPS, which is just terrible. And I understand this thing was only 32 bucks, but I feel like there's really no useful application for this thing except for maybe retro gaming. If you're someone who plays on the GameCube or the SNES or other similar game consoles, this would actually probably output a very good picture for those things, but it's not very useful for anything else. You're not going to be having any movie nights with this. The resolution's just way too low. You're certainly not going to be gaming with this thing, except for, again, retro games. But forget about connecting your PS5 to this guy. So overall, I'd say next time I'll probably pass on it. However, I've always liked the idea of having a projector, so I may invest in a little bit more expensive one than this guy, one that actually has pretty good quality. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys liked it, make sure to smash that like button. Make sure to subscribe to this channel as well. Again, helps me out tremendously and it's completely free to you. And I'll see you guys in the next video.